One Piece, the 10 worst atrocities committed by the world nobles. These self-proclaimed deities have done more harm to the world than the scummiest of pirates combined. They are that terrible. The One Piece fandom loves to hate criminal masterminds such as the flamboyant Don Quixote da Flamingo and the manipulative Sir Crocodile. While these two bad guys are a synonym for evil, they are designed in such an intricate way that makes it impossible to completely hate them. They have no redeeming qualities whatsoever. Yet they still manage to dominate the fans' hearts. Kudos to Oda for writing such hateful yet oddly captivating characters. With that in mind, though, not every villain featured in One Piece can be likable. That's only natural. The world nobles, for example, have the likability of mud-stained socks. They trigger the fans' most primal feelings of disgust. These self-proclaimed deities have done more harm to the world than the scummiest of pirates combined. They are that terrible. 10. They practice slavery. Straight off the bat, slavery is one of the most prominent aspects that direct the community's disgust towards world nobles. They, the ones who should be disapproving of the practice, endorse it the most. It's to a point where slaves make up the vast majority of the Holy Land's, Marie Geos, population. Even though commoners get treated like ants by world nobles. That treatment is tens of times more lenient than the one slaves enjoy. 9. They commit abductions and enjoy criminal immunity. The world nobles are the law. They have complete criminal immunity. All offenses committed against the lesser beings i.e. commoners will be overlooked by the law, which is technically them. The world nobles often take strolls in the immortal realm, fishing for unlucky souls. Anyone unfortunate enough to catch their curiosity can only bow their heads and await their impending doom. No law can protect them from the celestial dragon's dirty hook. 8. They commit plenty of murders. As they consider themselves deities, the world nobles naturally look down on all living beings. They, barring a few, have zero regards for all life besides their own. Their selfishness and ego truly know no bound. It would be generous if they don't roam about randomly shooting innocent people they find unpleasing to the eye. Let alone making eye contact. Just breathing loudly in their vicinity can lead to punishments as severe as murder. 7. Ego-charged crimes. Ego is a cardinal sin. It dictates the thoughts on most world nobles' minds. A world noble without ego certainly is no world noble. Don Quixote Homing, the kindest of world nobles, was shunned by his counterparts for showcasing humility. These world nobles make anime's standard egotistical nobles look like humble priests. In true One Piece fashion, they are head and shoulders above the competition. A 10-year-old Sabo was blasted with a bazooka for the innocent crime of sailing his boat nearby St. Jalmac's ship. 6. They impose the heavenly tribute compulsory tax. The heavenly tribute is a compulsory tax imposed by the world nobles upon all kingdoms under the world government's banner. Kingdoms that fail to comply usually suffer a fate beyond horrible. If it was a regular tax, then it wouldn't be much for full-fledged kingdoms. Mid-sized kingdoms will be able to cover these without any issues whatsoever. The heavenly tribute, however, costs plenty of kingdoms an arm and a leg. Smaller kingdoms bleed heftily in their efforts to pay up. 5. They keep the populace ignorant of the past. The history of the world of One Piece is shrouded by a fog of mystery. The Void Century, in particular, is a period of time erased from the records. The main culprit behind these erasures is, unsurprisingly, the world government. The world government is the medium used by the world nobles to control the world. The organization's higher levels mostly comprise world nobles. They'd do anything in their power to keep the populace ignorant of the past. 4. The world government's crimes in the name of justice. Besides censorship, the world government is guilty of countless heinous crimes. And most of the said crimes were committed per the world nobles' orders. All sorts of heinous acts in the name of justice take place on an occasional basis. Eustace Kidd said it himself, when it comes to being scum, world nobles outperform their pirate counterparts by a large margin. In fact, most pirates would seem like angels if they were to be compared to these nobles. 3. The O'Hara Incident. The O'Hara archaeologists persevered in their research and resolved a good chunk of the world's history. Little did they know that by doing so, they unwittingly triggered the wrath of the large entity known as the world government. The Buster Call on O'Hara would be mandated by the 5 elders themselves. And these 5 elders represent the highest authority in Marie Geost, the highest-ranked world nobles. 2. Corruption and lack of morality. Whenever there is a lack of morality, corruption tags along as a side dish. What's more, the most chaotic kind of corruption is bound to ensue if ego was to be involved. And boy, oh boy, is ego the most integral part of these world nobles. Normal nobles are willing to cross miles in order to win a world noble support E.G attempting to burn Grey Terminal. And in return, world nobles will accept anything in favor of their self-interests. 1. Falsifying truths. Inverting black and white and falsifying truths to fit their narrative isn't new to the world nobles. To be specific, it's not new to the world nobles in charge of the world. They would do just about anything to preserve the world government's, and by extent, the world nobles' reputation. For example, they claimed the credit for the Straw Hats' heroic actions in Alabasta even though they were partly responsible for the issues that plagued the desert country.